Good morning. It's Sunday morning, and I didn't practice yoga all of last week. And I am really feeling it. The last 2 weeks we did shoulders and shoulder anatomy. And guess what? I've hurt my shoulder. So I really feel like what I want to do today is move all of my fascia lines. I have been, I completely redid my garage to get the new truck into the garage. And I have done some heavy lifting and some twisting and pulling that I probably shouldn't have, and some overhead working, which is not good for the shoulder, particularly for the bad one. And I'm right-handed, so that's the bad one. So that's what we're doing today. Let's start on our back in constructive rest. As you settle down, move around a little bit and see if you can be just a little bit more comfortable. And for me, that usually means kind of moving my shoulders in gentle circles and then rolling my arms out so I'm really broad across the collarbones, rocking back and forth so my shoulder blades actually come a little bit closer together. And then maybe doing little circles with your pelvis, one direction and the other. And then stretch out the back of your head, neck is nice and long, and relax into those 3 points of contact. The back of the head, the back of the chest wall, and the back of the pelvis. And of course, there's the fourth of the feet. We had a lot of wind the last 2 days, the far-reaching effects of Hurricane Helene. By the way, my timeshare in Florida got blown away. So that's gone. Anyways, life is transient. Anything is transient, right? The impermanence of it all. That's the whole teaching of Buddha. Even this is impermanent. So just enjoy this moment right here on your mat, relaxing into the ground. And as I was saying, the winds, change of seasons, there's the transitions, the transition between summer and fall. Even though it still feels like summer out there, the leaves are turning, the leaves are brittle, and there's more wind. And those are the characteristics of fall. And so we do a more grounding practice. Nothing is more grounding than laying here on our back in constructive rest. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose, going all the way to the end. And another one. As you exhale, feel that exhale go all the way out to the end. And allow yourself to rest for just a little longer at the end of the exhale. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue from the roof of the mouth. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a rock and a roll. So the reason why this feels so good is because it stretches the back fascia line over the sits bones. It takes the curve out of the lower back and brings it onto the mat. And then bring your feet back down to the ground. And then cat-cow, rolling your pelvis forward and back. So this is your lumbar spine, and flexion is when you do cow, cat, and extension is when you do cow. And then finding neutral, taking your arms up to the ceiling, bring the arm bones down. really bring them down. And feel how the head of the humerus is meeting the mat. And inhale, right arm reaches up to the ceiling. A little bit of a twist in the upper back. And bring it back down. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Breathing, really reaching, and then bring it back down. Repeat that, right side up, and this time all the way over to the left. Palm is facing the ground. You can turn your head to. And then bend your left elbow so that the weight of the left elbow opens up that shoulder blade and opens up that shoulder socket. Nice, long, deep breath, exhaling. And releasing that arm, bring the arm bones down. Left arm up towards the ceiling, all the way across, turning your neck to look to the right. Bend the right elbow, let the weight of the elbow and the arm open up the left socket, stretch the muscles underneath the shoulder blade, and breathe. And then coming back and bringing your arms back down. One knee over the hip, the other knee over the hip, feet are flexed. Arms up to the ceiling, arm bones down, elbows are flexed. Inhale, right leg, left arm, reach the heel up to the ceiling. Exhale, bending down. Left heel, right arm, reach that heel up to the ceiling and come back down. So flexed right foot up to the ceiling, that back fascia line. The more you flex the foot, the more you straighten the knee, the more that back fascia line gets a stretch, and bend it back down. Left heel, flexed foot up to the ceiling, right arm joins, reaching with that heel, flexing the foot a little bit more, and then coming back down. Right leg, left arm, left leg, right arm. And bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a rock and roll. So just to review, there's the front fascia line, there's the back fascia line, there's the side fascia line, and there's the spiral fascia line. There's many other fascia lines, but those are the four that we're going to concentrate on today. So coming to constructive rest, take out your legs out to the side, take the left leg over to the left edge of your mat, right leg on top of it. Take your arms overhead, grab the right hand and reach, pull the right hand over to the left. Rob Starbucks calls this the banana pose, but what it is it's your side fascia line. So reach that right foot over, pull the right arm over, and breathe into that opening on the whole right side. Remember, it's the breath that helps the fascia move. And then we'll go over to the other side. So right leg goes over to the right side of the mat, left leg crosses over, grab your left wrist and reach, pulling that left arm over to the right. And breathe. So we've already done the 6 movements of the spine, right? We did the twist with the arms moving over, and we did flexion and extension, and now we've done the lateral movement. But what about all the fascia lines? The front fascia line is hard to do when we're lying on our back. The back fascia line we already did in child's pose. And if we take our legs up, both legs up to the ceiling, reach the heels and grab onto the thighs and draw them back, that's the back fascia line. You point the toes, notice that it goes away. So flex the feet, and then you're going to feel, you might even run your hands along those muscles. You can feel the hamstrings really taut because you're stretching them over the heels. Maybe you could reach your toes, maybe not. Okay, so that is the back fascia line. And then we did the lateral fascia line. Spiral fascia line, well, let's turn over onto our belly. Because that's how we can get to our front fascia line. In lotus pose, all those back bends. So prone mountain, hands are down by the side. Lengthen out through the neck, lengthen out, reach the right leg up and out, down, up, left leg, out and down. Press down with the hands, pull back, and come up into baby cobra. So in baby cobra, you don't really feel the front fascia line because your belly's still on the ground. But when you lift your legs and you come up a little higher, you're getting a little bit more into the front fascia line. Harder to feel, but you feel it. Okay, then come back down and take your arms out to Sphinx pose. So elbows are underneath the shoulders. Hands are straight in front of you. And notice your belly is on the mat. Now press down with the elbows to raise the chest up. So you're bringing the arm bone into the front of the socket. And then knit your ribs. And maybe you can take your whole abdomen off of the mat so that you're supported with your elbows and your thighs and maybe your pubic bone. But I can even get my pubic bone to just hover over the mat. It's hard work, but we're going to hold it for another breath. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears and then come all the way down to crocodile pose. So we did all of those just being on the ground. Now let's get into all fours. So do a knee push-up and go back to child's pose, counter pose for all of the back bends we just did. And then come up to tabletop. In tabletop, cat-cow is front fascia line and back fascia line. So when you go into cat, that's the back fascia line. Curl your head down. And when you come into cow, it's the front fascia line. And it's only from the hips back and from the hips up to the head, front and back, because we're on all fours. So cat-cow makes the top 10 every time. And then come to tabletop and wag your tail to the right. You can go ahead and cross the left leg over. Left hand comes over and look over your right shoulder. So really stretch that left side. That's the side fascia line, lateral. And then we'll go over to the other side. And, oh man, my knee hurts. That right knee just is not right. There's something wrong. So looking over your left shoulder, wagging your tail to the left, right ankle is over the left, right hand is over to the left. So the lateral fascia line knits the front and back fascia line together. It kind of holds us together. It's like a corset going up the side of your body. And then the spiral fascia line, there's two of them I want to do today. Let's do the first one. It's probably the hardest for everyone, coming all the way down onto your belly. And this is the Dana Farhi twist. So you start off in prone mountain. Then you bend your right knee just a little bit. Look over your right shoulders. You just bend that knee maybe 3 inches. And then come back down. And then do it again, but this time maybe 6 inches. And then come back down. And this time, maybe 9 inches. And when you come back down, you're going to curl your toes, push the floor away from you, look ahead, and then come back down to prone mountain. Uncurl your foot. This time, you're going to bring the knee probably all the way up to the waist, maybe. And your left hand comes over to the right side. And the right hand pushes away as you push with your foot to turn all the way over, and you let your leg come with you so that that SI joint doesn't have the stopping point. Breathe here. Then bring your toe onto the ground. Take the arm overhead, push the floor away from you as you follow your hand, and it comes around, and you're back on your belly in prone mountain. We're going to do that to the other side. So left knee bends just a little bit. You look over your left shoulder and come back down and push the floor away. Bend the knee a little bit more. Left knee, look over the left shoulder. Curl your toes, push the floor away from you, look forward, and then come down. So this is going to be probably 6 inches, maybe 7 inches, who's measuring, and push the floor away from you. And then 9 inches, not quite all the way up to the waist, push the floor away from you and come back. So you're slowly using that spiral line. This time we're going to go further. So take the right hand over to the left side of the mat. Look over your left shoulder, bend the knee, curl the toes, roll all the way onto your back, opening up your chest. Breathing here. And the arm goes overhead as you push the floor away from you, lengthening the spine, following the arm with your gaze. Bring the right hand back down and you're back in front. Do a knee push-up to come to tabletop, and we'll do thread the needle. It's also a spiral. So take the left hand underneath the right arm. Bring the left cheek down. If you walk your right hand out in front of you, fingertips, then you're getting the arm fascia line, which we didn't talk about, but there's 4 arm fascia lines. The forward, the back, the deep, and the not so deep, superficial, they call it. And breathe and to reach that left hand out a little bit further. So you're getting both shoulders in a different way. And then bring the right hand down under your shoulders, pushing up and 2 cat-cows. Oof. And then right arm goes under the left, right cheek comes down, left hand comes out in front of you, right hand reaches out. And breathe into that upper chest twist. And then bring your hand down under your shoulders, pushing up and 2 cat-cows. And on your third cat, sink back into child's pose. And with your hands, press down and pull, trying to still get that upper body strength. And release. Press down and pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Press down and pull, letting yourself come forward into knee up dog. And curling the toes and reaching the knees up and the heels back. Here's that front fascia line. And then tipping your bum back, reaching your heels towards the floor, back fascia line. Bend the knees, look up to the hands, walk the feet forward into forward fold. Inhale to lengthen, back fascia line. Forward fold, reach that 6 bones up to the ceiling, back fascia line. Press down to come all the way up and back to mountain. That right shoulder hurts. So remember I told you that if your shoulder hurts, use your other hand to take it up. And overuse is probably one of the problems. Grab a chair. We're going to do sun salutations with a chair. I can get that front fascia line better by using a chair. So you want it on your mat so that it doesn't slip. And you're going to stand probably 6 inches away. Mountain pose, front fascia line runs from the top of the toes all the way up behind the ear, back fascia line underneath the toes, over the heels, over the sits bones, along the spine, up and over the skull, and attaches on above your eyebrows. Spiral fascia line starts at the base of the skull on each side, goes down between the shoulder blades, crosses at the shoulder blades, comes across, crosses at the front of your abdomen, those are the obliques, attaches onto your hips, then it goes down the leg on the inside and back up, curls over your heels, goes over your sits bones, and goes up the back and attaches again back at the nape of your neck. And then side fascia line, the lateral line, attaches to the base of the ball of your foot, goes over the fibularis, comes up the side, and then crisscrosses and ties your whole chest wall together. And that's really interesting. Then you add on the arm line and extended side angle. Okay, so mountain pose, all of the 6 fascial lines are holding you together so that you're able to stand upright. Inhale, up salute. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your forehead all the way down to the chair and then raise your sits bones up to the ceiling so the knees aren't quite so bent. Feel, let your whole chest sink down. Feel how that back fascia line is stretching over your sits bones. Inhale, halfway lift, looking up over the top of the chair. Exhale, take the right leg back, reach the heel back, maybe walk the left foot forward, and let the whole pelvis just sink down. Open up the chest, open up the neck, and there's your front fascia line. You're opening up that hip, all those hip flexors. Psoas is one of the main ones. And remember, fascia moves slowly, so don't be in a rush. And then take your left leg back and go to down dog. Bend the knees, reach the sits bones back, and then up the wall behind you. Feel that stretch along the back. Come forward into plank. Plank, your lateral fascia line is holding the front and the back together equally so that you have good posture. And then you go into up dog, front fascia line, and then back to down dog. Back fascia. And step the right foot forward. I usually step the back one back a little bit and sink your pelvis down. And you can feel, now notice that that left hip might want to go back. So roll that left hip slightly in so it's nice and parallel. Nice deep breath, let the shoulders relax away from the ears. And then step the left foot forward, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bring the forehead all the way down. Reach the sits bones up, trying to straighten the knees. And then release the knees and push down to come all the way up. And back to mountain. So the last time we started with the right foot, this time we'll do the left foot, so we have to do it one more time. Inhale, up salute. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly bringing your forehead all the way down, bending the knees, and then lift the sits bones up towards the ceiling. Raise your chest to look up over the top of the chair. Exhale, fold, take the left foot back, deep step. And we're now in projected lunge. Opening up the chest, left hip rolls forward. Right foot steps back and joins the left as we come into down dog. Of course, the back fascia line is what you think of down dog, but the lateral fascia line is holding you together. So it's always, they all work together for all poses. And then come forward into plank. In plank, reach the heels back, shoulders roll slightly back, knit the ribs so that you have some nice strength and you're not sagging. And then up dog, front fascia line. And then all the way back to down dog, back fascia line. So left foot step back, left foot steps forward. And we're now in projected lunge on the other side. Roll that thigh in so that you have nice alignment with the leg and the hip. And breathe into it. If you reach the heel out, you're getting the back fascia line over the heel, but the front fascia line over the front of your chest and the front of your hips. And then step the right foot forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Push down to come all the way up and back to mountain. And you can move the chair aside. Thank you for indulging me. When I really want to get all of my fascia lines in my practice, I find that I do better with the chair for sun salutations than doing it on the mat because it's harder to get that front. So we're going into sumo. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, triple flexion down. See if you can come down a little bit deeper. Oh, into the hips. Come back up. Exhale to come down. And push down to come up. Just using your body weight and coming as far down as you can with your knees. I know, Jill, you can't do that, but do as best as you can. Do action and resistance and see if you can get some strength for it. And then we'll work on the lateral line. So the left toes turn in, the heel turns out, the right toe turns out. So pull with the heel to bend the knee. Reach out with that back heel, rotating the ankle out, grounding the big toe. Fibularis, that's where the lateral line is rooted, so that's where we start. And then going up and down, your pelvis is at your 10 o'clock if your foot is 12 o'clock. Next time you bend, pausing here. Knee should be directly over the ankle. Tipping over, so there's our back fascia line, okay? Maybe take your leg out a little bit further or wiggle your toes a little bit further so that you can get a nice long line. Dipping and bending your knee a little bit more. Rotating the ankle out. Arm comes up and out. Underneath your armpit, a little bit of a spiral going on there. And breathe. So the front leg, shin goes forward, thigh goes back and slightly tucks underneath the sits bones. So you got some torque going on there. And then bring the arm down and straight up. If you like, the bottom hand can come down. Inhale, coming all the way up, straighten the knee and glide back down so that you're now in triangle pose. Open up the chest, but the hip rolls forward as the shoulder rolls back. Now you can keep your hand on your hip if your shoulder's hurting you, like mine is, or you can raise it up, but that hurts, so I'm going to keep it on my back. And then bend the knee and come up into warrior two. Arm doesn't want to go up, does it? And then I'll rest it down, reverse warrior. Straighten the knee, standing gait, and bend them. One more time. Bending and straightening. Arms down, feet forward, two sumos. See if you can come down a little lower. Action and resistance to build some strength. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Reach out with that back heel. That's going to help you straighten the leg. And then make sure you're externally rotating your knee as you bend. Straightening and bending, it's meditative. Being present in your body. Next time the knee bends, pausing here. Inhale to perk up the spine, reach out with that heel, tipping over. If you press down on the elbow, brings the arm in the front of the socket, that opens up your chest so that you can look over your chest. Take the arm behind you, palm down, inhale up and over. Little finger down, thumb up. Maybe you bend the knee a little bit more. Maybe you look underneath the armpit. And then bring arm straight in front and up, version 2. If you like, you can come all the way down. So last time we transitioned into triangle from standing. This time we're going to transition to triangle from side. So just straighten up your knee. With the next inhale, reach to the ceiling and come all the way up into warrior 2. Flip the front hand, reverse warrior. Straighten the knee, standing gait, and bend the knee. Straightening and bending. Last time, straightening and bending. Move it straight, arm down, feet forward, heels in, 2 sumos. Symmetrical poses after asymmetrical poses. And walk your feet together. So we've already done low lunge. We've already got the front fascia line. I think we haven't done tree for a while. So let's just do a real quick flow for the front fascia line. So first we start with crane. So right leg comes up. Whew. If I can even get it up without falling over. Out to the side. Back to center. Tipping over, kicking back. So now we're in projected lunge. We were there and when we were with the chair. Coming up, rotate that back, heel out, hip in. Raise the hip headlights, more weight onto that back foot. And then bend the knee and straighten. We've already warmed up our knee, but somehow it's never warm enough. Next time you stop, pausing here, a little bit of a bounce, yeah. Raise the hip headlights. Hands at heart or out front. I won't be able to take them out. I'm going to have to use my arms to get my arms up because that shoulder won't go up. And then look up so that you're stretching the front fascia line over your chest wall, over your belly and up your neck. Then projected and then humble. And then come forward into airplane. Boy, balance is off today, isn't it? And then back up to crane. And then knee out to the side, foot down, ankle, heel to ankle, or a tree. So when your right knee goes out to the side, make sure your left hip doesn't go along with it. You want to keep that back. So choose your tree of position, arms up, arms at heart, arms at hips, toes up or down. And foot down, arm down. To the other side. Let's see if my balance is better on the other side. Over to the left. Right knee comes up into crane. Out to the side. Remember, keep that hip back. Back to center. Tipping over, kicking back, dropping down, rolling the heel out, the hip forward. Projected lunge. Reach the heel towards the ground. You'll feel it in the calf, and then reach the crown of your head forward, and maybe you come down a little bit more. Shin forward, thigh back, and tucked under. Then push and straighten the front leg. Raise the hip headlights, more weight onto that back leg, opening up that psoas, front fascia line. Bend the knee and straighten the knee. Do it 3 times. Bending, maybe a little bit further, and straightening. Last time bending, raise the hip headlights. Choose your arm position, whether you want to at heart or whether you want to take them up, open the chest, open up your throat, open up your gaze. Front fascia line, high lunge. And then projected lunge, core. And then humble lunge. So the lateral line is connecting all of this. And then come forward into airplane or warrior 3. And then up into crane. Oh, that's not good for me today. Out to the side. Heel down to ankle. And choose your tree position of choice. You can have the hands at hips, at heart, or up overhead. Toes on the ground or up off the ground. Practicing balance. It's too easy for you, close your eyes. That's too easy for you, move your arms. Hands down, foot down. Good. So we got tree and I wanted to be able to do that. I think eagle's pose is a great spiral, standing spiral. So grab a block, or if you like, you can use the chair, and put it on your left side. So to do eagle's pose, it's really, you're crossing and it's a lot of midline. So we're going to lightly bend our knees, take the right leg over, and then pull the thighs together and pull the outsides of the shins together. It's all midline. Pull the hip headlights together. Arms come out. Right comes under left onto shoulder, shoulders down. Back of the hands together. Maybe the hands together, palms together. Come down a little bit more. And then pull everything midline. That's the deep front fascia line. So you're pulling your calves together, your thighs together, your hip headlights together, and your arms together, your shoulders together. And then come up and release, roll your shoulders out. Move the block over to the other side. Mini squat. Left leg over. Now pull the calves together, thighs together, hip headlights together. Left arm under, right arm onto the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears, elbows up, back of the forearms together, maybe the palms together. Maybe sinking down a little bit. Pull your shoulders down. Use those muscles that work the shoulder blades and the shoulders. The back muscles, which are going to help your posture eventually. And then coming up and rolling your shoulders out. Grab your strap. So trying to strengthen our shoulder muscles helps our posture. So if you're always forward like this, I notice a lot of people's heads are forward. And how do you stand up all the time? Well, what we do here in yoga helps us. So take your strap. Your hands are just a little bit wider than your thighs. And pull the straps apart. And those are the muscles between your shoulder blades, the rhomboids. It's also your anterior serratus turn on. So keep pulling apart. The more you pull, the more effort you're doing. Inhale up to the pubic bone. Exhale down. Inhale up to the belly button. Exhale down. Get a wider stance. Inhale up to the chest. Pull, pull, pull. Exhale down. Inhale up to the shoulders. Pull, pull, pull. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up overhead. Maybe give yourself a little more strap and pull, and then see if you can bring it behind you. Let your shoulders back up, bend the knees, tip at the pelvis, knit your ribs, bring your arms here. I'm going to give myself a little bit more, and then come all the way down. Still pulling. And then come up and bring your arms back down. Now take the strap behind you. Okay? Palms are facing forward because it's, well, it should be internal rotation, shouldn't it? Let's see, it feels funny. Let's try that with the palms facing back and pull. It does feel funny, doesn't it? But internal rotation is kind of the rule. So inhale to lengthen, exhale, tilt the pelvis, come to forward fold, and then bring the arms up overhead. And keep pulling so that you're using those muscles. Let your head just drag. Another breath here. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Roll your shoulders out, roll your shoulders in. So we've done quite a few spirals, which is this twist or spiral fascial line, but we'll do one more twist when we come down. So come to the top of the mat. Inhale, up salute. Exhale, bend the knees slightly, tip the pelvis forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, feet step back, down dog. Back fascia line. Externally rotate the upper arm bones. Knees are lightly bent. Reach the pelvis up the wall behind you. Try to get your chest wall closer to your thighs. Reach the heels towards the floor. Head should have lots of room between your arms. And then sink down onto your knees into child's pose. Uncurling the toes, reaching back. Left hand walks over to the left side of the mat. Right hand goes on top. Gently sway the hips to the right and left. Just ever so gentle, maybe 2 inches. And then over to the other side. Right hand on the right side, left hand on top. Gently sway the hips to the left and back. To the left and then back. And then back. And then take the left arm over and just do gentle, plain old child's pose. Maybe you'd like to bring hand over hand and forehead onto the hand. Maybe you like to stretch your arms out in front of you. Right now my shoulder hurts, so I won't. Maybe you want more restorative. You can let your hands come back behind, palms towards the ceiling, and let the shoulders just drape. One more breath here. And then bring your hands under your shoulders, pushing up, making your way onto your back with your strap. So supine leg stretch is pretty much everything except for front fascial line. So arrive in constructive rest first. Take a couple of breaths and just relax. You'll never repeat this moment of relaxation again, so enjoy it. Notice it, appreciate it. And then taking the strap, put it around the ball of your right foot. And once you get it around the ball, take the leg so that it's over the hip, right? And it's not up over by your face. You want to at least be somewhere between the hip and the floor. And your elbows are straight. And then straighten out your left leg. Then draw the arm bones back down to the ground. Maybe you wrap the straps around your heads and draw the arm bones down to the ground. Reach the heel towards the ceiling. Back fascial line. Do you feel it? And the minute you bend the knee, it goes away. So it's really important that you reach out with the heel so that the knee is straight, so that that back fascial line gets a chance to stretch. And then our foot tends to push against the strap. So release the push of the foot against the strap so that you can release, Scott says, the gas pedal. Remember those arm bones. Keep pulling them down to the ground. It's another constant way of us being able to build those muscles between our shoulder blades. And then take both straps in your right hand, reaching up higher, wrapping it around, left arm out. This is going to be spiral. Inhale here, exhale, arm and leg go off to the right, neck turns to the left. Reach out with the heel to get that knee straight. See, my knee always wants to bend. Inhale, coming up. And we'll go across midline, changing arms, rotating the thigh in, looking out over your right thumb as the right leg goes off to the left for the IT band. It's a little bit of a, can you feel the twist? At the spiral fascial line, the lateral line holds it together. And then back to center, one hand on each strap, arm bones down, heels reaching out, including the left heel. Don't let that left leg be just lying there. It should be very active. And then bend the knee, remove the strap, and put your hands around the knee, drawing it into the chest, drawing the arm bones down when breathing pose. Belly button rolls into, pubic bone rolls into the belly button, leg comes up off of the mat, building that strength. Point and flex, point, flex, rotate in circles one way, rotate circles the other way, and then drop the left leg down. Okay, notice where that knee is. Now remove your external support. That means taking away your hands, and see if you can keep that knee that close up. Holding it for a couple breaths, letting those muscles get tired. When you work to fatigue, that's when it builds more muscle. Then bring the knee over the hip, foot is flexed, out to the side, back to center. Now when that leg goes out to the side, can you feel how that stretches and pulls on the perineum floor? That's why this is so good for you. And then bring the foot back down. And the left knee bends to join the resting breath. And then grab your strap and put it around the ball of the left foot. Straighten the leg. Give yourself enough strap so that your knee can be straight. Take out your right leg. Reach that heel out. Flex the foot so that it's really, really active. The heel might even come up off the floor. Draw the arm bones down to the ground and flex the foot so that you've got a little bit less pressure on the ball pushing against the strap. Instead, the heel is reaching up towards the seat. Just be in this moment. Feel the stretch right here, right now. Take both straps into the left hand. Right arm out stretches. Left arm pulls down to the ground. Inhale here. Exhale. Arm and leg go out to the side. Turning your head in the opposite direction, looking out over the right arm. And inhale, arm and leg up. Right arm takes the strap, left arm goes out, neck turns in the other direction. I have to give myself some more strap to get that knee straight. And goes across midline. Inhale back to center, one hand on each strap, arm bones down to the ground. Bend the knee, remove the strap. When relieving pose, arm bones down to the ground, both feet are flexed. Raise the right leg up off of the ground. Point and flex. So when you point, that's the front fascia line that's getting a stretch. And when you flex, it's the back fascia. Just do the front. And circles one way. Circles the other way. And foot comes back down. When relieving pose, draw that knee in and then remove the external support. Holding, and then bring the knee over the hip. Foot is flexed, out to the side, 1 and back, 2 and back, 3 and back. And drop the foot, bend the right knee, and we're back in constructive rest. Take the left arm, the right arm overhead, bent elbow, and then take the left hand and reach for the right arm and see if you can bring it down onto the ground and slightly over to the left. Just a gentle stretch of your back triceps. When I tried doing this and you're standing up, people's heads jutted forward. So here we are trying to do it on the ground. Head is on the ground. Much better for us. Now go to the other side. Elbow's already bent. And breathe. And release. Bring your knees into your chest for a final rock and roll. And then a happy baby. And grab your toes. Your fingers are right at the base of the toes and curl and extend, curl and extend. Grab around the outsides and do your toes, wiggling them. Get them flared. Some toe movement in there. And then bring the soles of the feet together, supine cobblers. And then slowly making your way to constructive rest. And then Shavasana. And take a deep breath and exhale all the way out, letting the 3 points of your body and your feet connect to the ground, the back of the head, back of the chest wall, back of the pelvis, and the feet. Relax your jaw. Take a deeper inhale. No longer exhale. Another deeper inhale. And exhale. And turn back to your normal breath. Moving the fingers and the toes. Bending, flexing, rotating. Bringing gentle movement. And bending your knees, bringing your feet to the floor. Letting the knees fall out and come in. Fall out and come in. That's time. Fall out. And bring your knees into your chest for a final rock and roll. Rolling over onto your left side. And very mindfully, very slowly, make the transition to seated. And start. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe and free from danger. May all beings be free of any form of suffering. May all beings live with ease. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me again. You keep me honest. My brother was driving down to Florida today, and he said that the trees are down everywhere, and it looks pretty bad. He's down in Naples, and his house is okay, so that's good. I told you my timeshare's gone, right? It's right on the beach. So I'm not sure what I'm doing in January, but stay tuned. Okay, you guys have a great week, and the weather's going to be just gorgeous again. So enjoy.